And each time your mind wanders from that anchor, just observe without judgment and steer your focus back to that anchor. Over the next few breaths, if you wish, you may also set an intention for your practice today. Their collective intention or mantra is be here, honoring the time that you carved out of your day to have this practice for yourself and making the most of that time by being in the present with your body and your breath. We'll take 3 clearing breaths together to seal it in. So exhale out to prepare. Take a nice full deep inhale, filling completely. And open your mouth and sigh it out. Big deep inhale through your nose. And exhale, let it go. One last big deep inhale. And let it all go. Beginning to bring some awareness into your extremities. Wiggling your fingers and toes. If you're lying down, you can roll onto your side whenever you're ready into a supported fetal position. Taking a moment to pause. So if you attend a yin practice, it can be this type of yin practice where we're targeting the connective tissue, or it can be just a type of practice that slows down. Very slow, gentle movements. And so taking that approach, we have our yin and our yang, our dark and our light, our feminine, our masculine, our cool and our hot. So this is a more gentle practice. Allow yourself to take your time. When you're ready, coming up into a seated position. And it's up to you whether you want to face forward, whether you want to face me. It really doesn't matter, whatever you feel comfortable with. And today we're going to start in butterfly. So in our traditional yang practice, a lot of times we try to pull our feet in as close as we can to the pelvis. But we can have some benefits and a different experience if we widen our butterfly a little bit here. So the options are yours, the choice is yours. And you can either sit up nice and tall and have a nice flat back as you come forward, or you can round your spine in this pose. Here, the props can be used to help support your body. I like to use my blocks as the foundation, and then my bolster for the softness on top. So you can put your block maybe in the space in between your legs if you have room. You might put a block or 2 on top of your feet. If that's a little too harsh for your ankle bones, you can do blanket, block, bolster. I like to make kind of like a little ramp. I gave everyone 2 bolsters today just in case one wasn't quite enough. And I'll give you a halfway point. So if you want to turn your head to one side instead of planting your face straight down, you can do that. You might also utilize your arms and your hands for support if you wish. We can bring our hands together in a prayer position and maybe rest the thumbs on the third eye. We'll be here for 4 minutes. Allowing yourself some time to settle in. I want you to feel compelled to move if your body is calling for something different. Maybe that you're experiencing pain, or if your body is opening and allowing you to go a little bit deeper. Otherwise, part of our yin practice is finding stillness. Sitting with the ego's desire to move. Bringing your focus back to that anchor. And just allowing yourself some time to be here with your body and your breath. We do also practice quite a bit of silence in the yin practice. Allowing yourself to draw in to your inner intuition and your inner experience. You're halfway if you wish to turn your head to the opposite side. Pulling big, deep breaths into the areas of tension. And allowing some of the tension to escape with your exhale. Taking 4 more big, deep breaths. And slowly using your hands to help press your torso upright. And moving your props off to the side. Bring your feet flat to the mat, knees pointed to the ceiling as you lean back onto your hands. And just letting your knees gently windshield wiper from right to left. It's about finding whatever counter movement feels good for you. Being gentle and kind. Moving slow so that you get a chance to experience all of the sensations that comes with this counter movement. Evening out on both sides. Next, we'll be coming into straddle, which in the Yang practice is a wide-legged seated position. So I would like you to have all of your blocks handy here. This is the reason for the possibility of 4 blocks. And here, if your hamstrings are feeling, your pelvis feeling a little bit tight, it might help to sit up on height, up on a bolster or onto a blanket. But here, having the blocks kind of in between your legs, and I like to make kind of a stair step here. Might be 3 blocks here and 1 in front, or might be 2 and 2, or maybe this one goes a little bit higher. You can play around with whatever you need here. And allowing your bolster to come to the space in between your legs and lay kind of like a ramp on your blocks in front of you. So the shortest block is in front of you, and it gets taller as it moves away. It's a ramp coming out. And sitting up nice and tall, and bow forward. Maybe to come to rest on the bolster. You can add your blanket on top of your bolster if you need a little extra height. You can again bring your elbows onto your bolster and rest your head in your hands. Remembering to breathe deeply here. In our Yin practice, we feel the experience very differently from each other. There's a big, deep stretch, big, deep opening of the body. It might feel kind of like a dull, achy type sensation, and that's okay, but we do want to avoid any sharp pain. Where you feel the experience is going to be vastly different from your neighbor. And if you're feeling it, you're doing it. So there's no wrong way or no wrong place to experience this. Allow your body to soften anywhere where tension is not needed. That might be in your physical body. That might be in the mental body, with the movement of your mind. That might be in your energy body, with the movement of your breath. And that might be in your emotional body. Give yourself permission to find ease. To trust that your body is going to tell you exactly what it needs. To surrender into the relaxation. We're at a halfway point if you want to adjust your head. Take 4 more big deep breaths. And maybe releasing your hands down to the floor or your props and using your hands to help press your shoulders back over your hips. Maybe use your hands to help your knees bend a little bit. And either windshield wipering your knees or finding any other counter movement that feels good to bring your body back into neutral. When your body is shifted back into neutral, we'll come into tabletop position. I recommend placing your blanket if you'd like a little extra padding for your knees, or you can even use a bolster if your knees are really tender in this kneeling position. The knees in the bolster and hands forward of the blanket, knees on the blanket. And taking your right hand and reaching in between your left hand and your left knee, coming into thread the needle. We can use any of the props to help support the body if it doesn't feel very comfortable to have your head and your shoulder down on the earth. And where this posture varies from the yang version is that I usually like to see a really long neck, a long neutral neck. But in the sense of finding ease in this posture, if it feels better to relax it gives you more softness to let your ears sink down to the floor. Feel free. Now your left hand can find a different placement that might serve your body in a different way. You can slide forward towards the mirrors. You might reach it up towards the ceiling, or you may wrap it behind your back. Feeling your spine energetically lengthen with each inhale. And finding softness and surrender on each exhale.
Allow the space between your eyebrows to soften. Feel your jaw unhinge so it can fully relax. And if it feels good, if it helps you to release some of your tension, feel free to take your exhales with that clearing breath, that big open sigh out. Take 3 more big deep breaths. And slowly making your way up into tabletop. Our counter movement would just actually be doing the opposite side. So weaving your left hand in between your right hand and your right knee. We try to do the same things on both sides to bring balance into our body. However, if you intuitively know that something different on this side will be the best thing to bring your body into balance, please feel free to take that other option. Take 3 more big deep breaths. Bringing your right hand underneath your right shoulder, slowly pressing yourself up into the tabletop position. So I'd recommend grabbing 2 blocks. We move into different little bit of movement for the next portion. Maybe starting off with your hands on the tallest block and bringing your left foot out to the left in kind of just a half squat position. I want you to bring your foot out and just let it land where it naturally wants to land. It might be closer into your arm, it might be farther out away from your torso, wherever it naturally wants to land. And then beginning to rock towards and away from your toes. And as you begin to rock and just using your body weight to lean,
Then making any finite adjustments that feel a little bit better for your body. That could be the angle that your foot is pointing. It might be how close your knee is to your left arm. It might be how far out your foot is from the central line of your mat. Right? It can be in pretty far, or it can be out pretty far. You can also change the position of your blocks to lower your torso closer to the floor. Taking it a little step at a time. Using your breath to help ease you through the movement. Allowing your exhales to gently guide you through the tightest spots. And begin to circle with your hips. And if it feels okay for your knee and ankle, they can go through this rotation as well. Remember to take your time to just be with your body and your breath and the experience. Take your circles in the opposite direction. Continue to let your breath flow through the movement. And find softness in your body anywhere tension isn't needed. Maybe that's letting your neck relax and your head hang heavy. Maybe it's relaxing your jaw so much that your mouth falls open. You breathe out an open mouth. Take one more rotation at your own pace. Then extend your left foot out to the left. So sliding it out to the side, pointing your toes forward towards the mirrors. On your exhale, begin to lower down until you feel a gentle stretch, maybe through the inner or the back of your left thigh. You can either stay here and hold or finding a little bit of a rocking motion, sitting back towards your right heel and rocking forward once again. So we're kind of in like a one-legged child's pose. When we sit back, if it feels good just to sit back and hold, feel free. Your arms can find softness, or you can find a little bit bigger extension by walking your fingertips forward. No matter what the option, trying to find as much ease as you can within the pose. Come forward and make your way back into tabletop. Bringing your right foot out to the right into a half squat position. Wherever your foot naturally wants to land. And then beginning to rock towards and away from your toes. If you weren't sure which side was the tighter for you, you usually figure it out in this experience. Just being kind and letting go of expectation. Just listening to the depths and the shape that your body is ready for on this side. Let your exhales ease you into the tight spots. And begin to circle with your hips. Letting your breath flow through your movement. Releasing tension where it's not needed. And continuing to bring your focus back to your anchor whenever you notice it wandering. Circle in the opposite direction. Seeing how that small change can impact the experience greatly. Take one more rotation at your own pace. And slide your right foot out to the right, pointing your toes forward. As you exhale, bending your elbows lower down, maybe onto your blocks or all the way to the floor. And you may stay here. You might find a gentle rocking motion. Or if it feels good, sitting all the way back into your one-legged child's pose. Intuitively deciding what your body needs on this side. You come forward and back into tabletop. Taking any counter movement your body may require at this point. Shift back into neutral. Next, you're going to come into another yin pose. Using your props for sure. Supported fish. My suggestion today would be to use the blocks. You can use the bolster for this as well, and I'll give you that option after the blocks. Setting up your first block maybe at its middle height. It goes across your mat. And your second block, I personally like it for my body at its tallest height. But you can set it at its middle height, at its lower height, or not even use a second block. This forward block, or this first block at its middle height, is going to go right at the bra line, so that your shoulder blades are falling over the back edge of the block. So we don't want it actually on the shoulder blades, we want it underneath the shoulder blades. Now, if you find these cork blocks can be a little harsh, right? The foam ones are a little bit kinder to your body in this pose. You can put your blanket over top of this to give you a little bit of extra padding. So we'd lay back over top of the block. The other block is for the support of our head. So putting it underneath the back of your skull at whatever point feels best for you. If you find that even with the blanket, it's just way too harsh of a feeling on your ribs or maybe on your spine, then the bolster would take the position of that block here and allowing your heart to expand upward, your shoulders to melt downward over top of the bolster. Your arms can be in whatever position feels comfortable for you. Maybe they rest down by your sides. Maybe they fall open into a T. Maybe they come into a cactus position. You come around a little bit and see if there's any adjustments that I can help you with to make it more comfortable. Slowly put the blocks here for your hands to rest on. It might be nice and between so that when you come back into the cactus, either underneath here or just your hands. Your legs can be in whatever position is comfortable. Knees bent into the ceiling, butterfly, cross-legged, extended out. With each inhale, feeling as if your heart is lifting up towards the stars. And with each exhale, feeling as if your shoulders are melting down towards the earth. How can I help you? More comfortable. That's perfectly fine. Next, I would like to transition down to a flat back. And finding a way to do so with as little movement in between as possible. Sometimes it's rolling onto one side and sliding the block out from under. Just allowing your spine to relax down. You pull down towards the earth. Just noticing what you experience in this corner position. Maybe even bringing your breath into the backside of your body. And when you're ready, take both knees and draw them into your chest. Keep your right knee drawn in and extend your left leg forward. Just letting your heel rest on the mat. On your exhale, guide your right knee across your body into a spinal twist. One of the beautiful things about having the bolsters in this class is that you can use it to maybe help support your right leg. So if it feels good, you can kind of tuck it underneath of your right thigh, or maybe like feeling like it's in between your legs. You might use your blanket on top of the outside of your right leg for a little extra weight, or on top of your right shoulder. Maybe feel like it's helping anchor you down in those 2 points. Checking in with your spine from tailbone to crown, and seeing segmentally how it feels all the way up the entire length. Your eyes might point straight up to the ceiling, or it might roll over to the right. Energetically filling your spine with length on the inhale, finding a release of tension on the exhale. See if you can feel the muscles soften around the bones on the left leg. On your next exhale, a slight contraction in your core to help bring your hips back to center, drawing both knees back in towards your chest. Maybe it's some slight movement to massage your spine, or maybe it's just finding a little bit of stillness. And keep your left knee drawn in, extend your right leg forward towards the mirror. And when you're ready, exhaling into your twist. honoring those differences between the right and the left. Giving yourself permission to find any finite adjustments that make you fully comfortable. Once you've found comfort for your body, spending the next few moments in stillness, observing, being present on your mat. The bottom of your next exhale, a slight tightness through your core to bring your hips back to center. Bring both knees in towards your chest. I'd like to come around and place your props for final relaxation. So if you wish, taking the next moment to find any counter movement or any position that might feel comfortable for you before coming into final relaxation. Draw your knees into your chest real quick. Let's see if something is comfortable for you. It's supposed to rub against you here. Let's see. That gives you enough support. Does that feel okay? Just placed a couple bolsters underneath the knees for a little bit of support and final relaxation. That can be with the feet still on the ground or opening into a little bit of a butterfly. You can use the props in any way that you wish to find comfort for your body. Possibly the blanket underneath of your head. Feel the muscles around your eyes soften as your eyeballs sink deep into their sockets. Feel your jaw unhinge. Some relaxation come into your cheeks. Surrender to the relaxation in your neck and shoulders. Just feeling the back of your shoulders sink down towards the earth. And as the wave of relaxation travels down all the way to your toes, noticing the muscles relax away from the bones. And taking these final few moments all for you. strongly encourage you to take as much time as you need for your final relaxation. When you're finished, if you would please put your blocks on the bar, and you can leave your other props right where they're at. I honor the light, the love, and the peace in each of you, as it is also within me. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.